All right, good evening, cyber friends. This is the Midi Man coming at you again from Walk Studio back here, Studio B. We want to say, y'all, that we give God all the praise as usual, and we thank Him for life, health, and strength. And we thank Him for each and every one of you. Your cyber friends, you know who you are. Trying to move some of these pens out the way. These are my pens I had dropped behind my desk a long time ago, and I finally decided I would get down there and on last evening and picked them up off the floor back there. It was out of my reach, but I was able to get to them last night, so I got them. And now I got to find me something with a little weight to it so I can put them in. I don't want to put them in a styrofoam cup because that's why they're on the floor now. But that's why they was on the floor because styrofoam cup turned over. But at any rate, we want to say to each and everybody, y'all seen the title of this video this evening. It is Pastor Williams. You know, he had a great message, great word this day, a great word, and come talking Apostle Paul, and Apostle Paul uh, illustrate the Christian journey, the Christian race as a athlete in training. In other words, telling us uh, to keep pressing toward the mark of the high calling of God. In other words, we can't be effective looking back. And that's what he was trying to let us know. We got a lot of people that's all we want to do is they look back on, and it ain't nothing wrong with looking back and for history. What I'm saying, to see where you've been. In other words, I heard it also stated that if you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you come from, you can't know where you are, and you don't know where you're going. That he wasn't talking about that type of looking back and researching over what you have done, but he's talking about those of us that all we got on our mind is the negative aspect of a thing. And you telling us to do like Apostle Paul said. Apostle Paul telling you, we were to press on. Y'all, if it was easy, he wouldn't have said press. Anytime you got to press something, that's a task. That's a task that's gonna take some strength and some endurance. Some of us ain't got but a teaspoon of endurance and strength in the first place. We give up very easy. If things don't come like smooth whipped cream and cherry on top, we ain't got no place for it. But this Christian journey, Jesus never said, and I done read the Bible through and through, more times than a little bit, and I never seen in there where he told us it was going to be easy. Never did say it was going to be easy. Never did. He said, but in this life, you would have trials and tribulation. But if one thing Jesus said that give me, I don't know what it does for nobody else. I ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It's like my grandma used to tell us kids, mind your own business, see about your own self. Don't worry about the other fella. But I know what give me consolation, what Jesus said, even though he said in this world we were going to have trials and tribulation. And I can attest to that. But he also said, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. See, that's what I can't get. If we could just grasp that concept, y'all, Jesus have overcome this mess that we're in now. But you know what? Somebody said this today. I'm trying to think. Was it the pastor? We was talking about something. But at any rate, I heard this was spoken by my buddy Hammerman. That's who it was. Me and him was talking on last night. And we was talking, you cannot make people believe anything that they don't want to believe. You cannot. But now, ain't it funny though? They can do stuff like that on something that don't even hold its weight in water. You can't get them to change, see it. But anything else, people can just get them to drop like a bucket. Just drop everything that they believe in, everything that they've been taught, and they'll drop it in a moment, New York minute, for some new wind of doctrine that come by, and somebody tell them that this gonna do this and this gonna do that and this gonna, and they'll drop everything they know and everything that they have been taught and come to believe, whether it be the Bible, or your mom and your dad, your grandparents, or whatever they taught you to have some moral character about yourself. Don't sell yourself for nothing. Y'all, Pastor preached, awesome sermon today. Yes, he did. Been preaching every Sunday, really. But, y'all, I just go back to the same premise. I tell everybody, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. You can't make him drink. And furthermore, it's like we were speaking in Sunday school. If I got to make you do a thing, what is something wrong with that picture, y'all? Something wrong. Anytime if I got to make you do something, I shouldn't want it. I remember my cousin, Reverend Michael Walker. Reverend Michael Walker, pastor right there at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church up there on 41. I remember when I was playing for, he was also pastoring at the Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church in Shelby. And I was playing at the church at that time for him. And as an issue came up, some discussion came up about Christmas presents and about people trying to do what's right, whether it's appreciation or whatever it might be. And I remember my cousin made this statement. He said, if you got to make somebody do something, you shouldn't want it. He was dead on. He was deadly right. Why should I have to, if I got to beg you and make you do something for me, I shouldn't want it. If you're not giving it, doing it free, you know what? Even God do not want our mess. That's what I call it, yes. Even God do not want our mess if it ain't free willing. He tell you to keep it. He don't want it. God don't even want it. We got people. We got stuff that, obligation that, we are involved in, especially on the church scene. And there's other things. Everything is not about church, y'all. Everything is not about just church. You got other stuff that goes on as well. In the business sector, in the business world, you got people that work in these companies and whatnot. They got a quota to meet. They got responsibility that they must hold their end up. They got regulations that they have to follow, in rules. Everything got rules. But they are rules within reason. When anytime you try to get people to go against reason, in other words, for instance, we in just about all the churches that I know of, when they having special days like church anniversaries, like what we're gonna have next Sunday, pastor's anniversaries, different days like that, there in celebrations, and everybody have something that they are asked to do. Do you hear what I say? That's difference. That's different. Now listen at me good. We have something that we are asked to do. A-S-K, asked. We are asked to do, not forced to do. It's a difference. It's a difference. See, in other words, anytime you got to force an individual, that's demonic. Please, y'all, listen to that, Mitty Man. Witchcraft forces people to do stuff against their will. That's what witchcraft is. Read your Bible. Witchcraft, when you try to manipulate people into doing things that they wouldn't ordinarily do, that's witchcraft. And God hates that. God hates that. So I'm just trying to give y'all a little heads up. I done read my Bible and I know it. I know my scripture very well. You better mind how you go about with all this here. Just grabbing, well, like our pastor said, naming and claiming, grabbing and bagging and all that kind of stuff. No. In other words, we are so glad that Apostle Paul, when the pastor preached that today too, about the Apostle Paul, he relating everything to an athlete in training. We're in training, y'all. When I was went to the military, we had to go to training. They call it boot camp. That boot camp got you prepared for combat. It wasn't combat, but it put you so close to it. You were just about in it. But it was preparing you for combat. In other words, when I throw my right hand up, right up there in Atlanta, Georgia, at APs, we had to swear in this oath that we would defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Do you hear what I'm saying? And do y'all know what that really means? I mean, some of you may not know what that really means. What that meant when we took that oath, that means we wouldn't only fight Hussein and get him off the map, we'll get you off the map too. Go against the United States. That's what that means. Foreign and domestic. You that's living right here, go against it. And we gonna defend it. We defend the Constitution of the United States of America. We don't defend no mess in China. I'm not a Chinaman. And I sure ain't no Russian. I ain't got nothing to do with how they run their government. I'm an American. United States of America, and the Constitution, when we gave that oath, gave the oath to defend the Constitution of the United States. And therefore we were trained to do it. But guess what? Never by force. Never by force. Y'all better start watching. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. When anytime people try to get you to go against, God-given right of free will, you better watch that. There's something evil behind that. That's all I got to tell you about that. And I was so glad Pastor preached that this morning. I was so glad Pastor preached that this morning. He did telling us about an athlete we got to train. And then I know, I told you, I gave y'all an example about me going back to my guitar lessons. And how this time I was putting the time in that needed in order to play the thing like it's supposed to be played. You can't half do something and think you're going to get the best benefit out of it. You can't do that. But that's what the Apostle Paul was trying to let Timothy and all the Titus, all his sons of the faith, let them know that everything that you got to put forth, you got to put your time in. And an athlete don't busy himself looking back, running, you're going to fall down. Some of us just barely can walk anyway. You better be careful of how we try to go about doing this stuff, and never let no one, oh my God, y'all, if someone try to manipulate you to do stuff against your will, that's witchcraft. That's not good. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's witchcraft. In other words, God could have made robots, but he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He made human beings just a little bit lower than himself. He made us in his image and gave us free will. In other words, he gave us dominion over this whole world. That's what God did. He gave us dominion over this whole world and everything in it. That's what God did. He gave it to Adam. But Adam sold out to Satan. Satan, y'all, is the one that's behind all this crazy mess that's going on now. Satan is the one. He know his end is about to come. And he want to try to kill everybody he can. Cause, let me tell you something. Satan hates you and he hates me. Satan has no love for none of us. And I don't know why we would have some people that would just free willing to bow down to Satan and follow him. He has no place to put you. He gonna burn himself. He gonna be destroyed himself in the lake of fire. So this is what's wrong right now in our world. It ain't, don't blame the people so much, but some of us were blinded by, we are blinded by Satan and the prince of this world. And we love this present world. We love it. Because Jesus said this now. I didn't say it. Because of that fact that a lot of people love their present world and the way and what's in it, they are willing to to sacrifice themselves and you too. Y'all better wake up. Many man, I made up my mind a long time ago. No. I was trained, I was taught. And that what I was taught from a child, that's what I hold to right now. I was trained as a child, and then guess what? God hadn't told me nothing different yet. So until God tells me something different, many man stand on what that song says, standing on the promises of God. That's what I stand on. I stand on that from now until eternity. Because until God tells me something different, I stand my ground. And I hope that a lot of you would do the same. Follow your own judgment. Don't let nobody coerce you into making no kind of crazy decision. If it's something that you don't feel is right, don't do it. I mean, there ain't no other way to put it. If you don't feel it's right, don't do it. But if you do and you ain't got no problem with it, like I said, what I just told you, it's called free will. Now see, if you free willingly do something, nobody forcing your hand, you did it on your own. So that's your fault. If something don't come out right, that's your fault. But now if someone forces you to do something, then that's a different story. That's a different story. Y'all be careful. That's the only thing me the man was saying. Pastor William, thank God for that sermon today. Thank God for that sermon today. Because that sermon that do nothing but spark me. That sparked me even more to keep my head forward, keep my face looking forward to run this here race. Because this is a race that we are in, and it's a battle. It's combat. It ain't no game. It ain't no fun and game. People think Christianity, well, some people say they think Christianity is easy because they're not doing anything. No, Christianity is not easy by a long shot. You have to do some things. You have to swallow some things that you wouldn't ordinarily swallow. Why? Not because you are afraid of a person or a given situation. It's because of the fact that you and me and a lot more like us are trying to do what thus saith the Lord. That's what it is. That's the difference. We are trying to do what thus says the Lord. It ain't that a person's scared of you. Ain't nobody scared of you. Please, get real. But we trying to treat you decent and in order like God told us to do. Do what God said. We don't have a problem doing nothing out there under the sun but what God said. Ain't that something? Y'all, we just thank God. Pastor William, keep on preaching that gospel like you're preaching. Keep on preaching the solid word. No additives, no sedatives. That keep preaching that word. Because that's the only thing that's going to save this word, the word of God. It's the only thing. And then we hoping that people will band together, those that love what is right. And just, that's the only way that we're going to stop a lot of the craziness that's going on in the world. People are going to have to band together and stop biting at everything come by. And put right where right supposed to be, and let us put wrong where wrong's supposed to be. Put it in the pits of hell where it's supposed to be. And let us stop leaning to our own understanding. But let us trust in God. In all our ways, let us acknowledge Him. He'll direct the path. This many man saying, whatever you get into. If God is not in it, please, man, please come out of it. Because it's going to come to nothing. Until the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first, this is Bitty Man saying peace and good evening.